Hi, my name is Miss Mocha. This book is actually three books from the same author, and it's called The Dirty Divorce by Miss KP. And I've been trying to read some new authors to get a feel for like different characters, but this one left me straight confused and wondering why I did that. This book, The Dirty Divorce, Part 1, let me start off with that book. That book was just crazy. Like the first 5 pages of the book define the rest of the book. Like for real. Like you see these two people, Lisa and Rich, they're married, and Rich is a dog, and his actions get Lisa in a whole lot of trouble, and honestly, his actions are the reason why she goes crazy. Okay? And in the end, like, they have these two children, Juan and Denny, and mama's boy, daddy's girl, and they really define the second book. Like, you also end up finding out a whole bunch of secrets when it comes to Renzo, Marisol, and her husband, Carlos. And all these people, except for the kids, run a drug cartel. And you would think that would make them tight. Nope, that didn't. Juan ends up getting himself in a whole heap of trouble in the second book, which I'm going to get to right now. The second book, the ending of the first book is going to make you want to read the second book because you want to know what happens after that. And in it, you see Rich and Lisa really fall apart because of the ending of the first book. And you really see defining moments of Denny, and you see how twisted she could be. You also see Juan, who makes some really stupid decisions. Like, he tries to be better than his father, but ends up messing up everything that his father has tried to do. Rich ends up being kicked out of the drug cartel and tries to come back in. And let me tell you something. That man is the most sneakiest man in the world. I swear to God, if there was like the definition of manipulation, that character Rich would be right there. Because that's all he does. That's all he does. And then he thinks that it's okay. And, he thinks that Lisa is crazy because she's just crazy. No, she's crazy because you made her crazy. But you really find out the definition. I mean, there are secrets in this book. There's also a major secret in the first book that, also defines the second book. But that really doesn't come to a close in the third book. Which, by the way, I really didn't like. I mean, the one downside I can say about this book is that there was too much. There was too much. There were times when I had to close this book and put it away for a second because I was like, did that just happen? Yeah. It was. I love my drama. Don't get me wrong. I'm in love with drama, but that was too much drama. That was like an excessive overload. Towards the end of the third book, you see another character, and I've said her name before. Her name is Marisol, and her husband Carlos died. Hint, hint. Her husband Carlos died. And she goes around looking for the killer. And in the midst of this all, she has her own secrets that she doesn't think that's going to bite her in the butt. But she ends up becoming a slight definition of Lisa. Just a slight. Towards the third book, they end up putting Lisa in a mental hospital. I was like, really? This man is the one that's driving me nuts. And you put me in a mental hospital? That just ticked me off to the extreme. It really did. I mean, Lisa, she had her defining moments. I mean, she really did try to get her grip away from Rich. But in the end, Rich is the one that ends up mentally pulling her down. I mean, she tried to grow, didn't work. Rich, he just didn't change. Denny and Juan are probably the only positive characters that actually are in this book. Because they're trying to get out of that lifestyle, but in the end, it always ends up pulling them back in. So if I had to give this a Miss Mocha star rating from 1 to 3, I give it a 2. Because it would have been a 3 if, like, the title made sense for the book. I think this title should have been something different. It should have been completely something different. Because after the second book, it's no longer really about a divorce. It's more about revenge, and it should have been like The Dirty Revenge or something like that. I don't know, but that is my opinion of the book. Go out. There's 3 books. It's called The Dirty Divorce, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. Go out, read it. Give me your opinion. Was it too much drama? Was it little drama? Was it confusing? Just let me know. Because this book left me straight thinking, why did she put all of that in there when it wasn't even necessary? Granted, I liked the book. Like it was good. It had all the stuff that I liked in the book, but that was too much. I was like, how come you just couldn't say this? But, still a good read. Go out, read the books. Let me know what you think. I'm out.